My esteemed colleague Abdul Qadir Mullah was executed on 12th of December 2013. I was very close to him as one of my colleagues, and also I was closer to him because I had the rare opportunity of defending him both before the tribunal which gave him life sentence and before the Supreme Court of Bangladesh which gave him death sentence. Abdul Qadir Mullah was a simple man, a learned man, a man with wisdom. He was a courageous man. I remember very clearly when he came to the Supreme Court in July 2013 to take an anticipatory bail. When the judges refused to give him anticipatory bail, it became clear that the police is going to arrest him very soon. A question arose, who will go first? Because two of them came to the Supreme Court to take bail. One was Brother Kamruzaman, who has also been executed, and Abdul Qadir Mullah. And I was really amazed. And that incident has made a deep impression on me about the courage, personality, and tawakkul ala Allah, trust on Allah, which was inherent in Abdul Qadir Mullah. We were discussing the matter because it was certain that the police is going to arrest them in my room in the Supreme Court, and without any hesitation, without any thinking, he said, I will be the first one to go. And it speaks volume, because maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted him from that moment that he would be the first martyr of the 5 top-ranking leaders of Jamaat who have been executed through a verdict from the Supreme Court, which is a controversial one. Now, Abdul Qadir Mullah was a journalist by profession. He was a very brilliant student. He had a first class in his MA, but he sacrificed his career for the sake of the movement. Whatever direction has come from Jamaat, he has accepted it in good grace. Now, his trial was a historic one because he got life sentence from the tribunal. Tribunal gave him life sentence, and according to the existing laws of Bangladesh, that should have been final. But mob in Shahbag, the crowd in Shahbag, they demanded that Abdul Qadir Mullah should be given death sentence, he should be executed. Then the law was changed, and that law cannot be given retrospective effect, but Parliament gave him retrospective effect. And the government appealed against the life sentence. We appealed against the life sentence as well, but the government wanted a death sentence. The matter went before the Supreme Court, which was the highest court of the country, and the argument took place for long 29 days. I, as counsel of Mr. Mullah, Brother Mullah rather, I argued for 20 days, and then by a 4-1 majority, he was given death sentence. Then the question arose whether there would be review for him or not. Review is very difficult. It's a very uphill task. The Attorney General was the opinion that there should not be any review, but we gave our opinion that there should be review. Finally, the government decided that there should be a review. On 10th of December, I clearly remember in the morning, we get an email from US Ambassador Rapp. He was the ambassador at large from the United States of America. He requested us to file a review. We filed a review. We prepared the review. We didn't file it. because we were waiting that according to the constitution he will be given 30 days. However, he is so far as I remember, on 8th of December, the Supreme Court published a very long judgment. On 10th of December, it was formally served onto Abdul Qadir Mullah in the prison. And we came to know in the evening of 10th of December that Abdul Qadir Mullah would be executed about midnight. Then we went to the chamber judge in Bangladesh. You can go to a chamber judge even in his residence if it is urgent for staying the execution of the death sentence. It was a memorable day. We went to the house of the chamber judge. I thought possibly we will not be allowed to go in to his house. He entered us in his house, and at the end of the day he passed an order that Abdul Qadir Mullah's execution should be suspended until 10:30 of 11th of December. 11th of December, it was a Hartal day. But on Hartal day, normally we don't go to the court. Hartal is general strike. But we went to the court, and the matter was heard the whole day on 11th of December and until 12 o'clock on 12th of December. On 12th of December, it became clear that he will be executed, and then he was executed on 12th of December. Before that, it was very important that on 12th of December he was executed. The High Court and Supreme Court was closed. I thought it is better to go out of the country for various reasons. My eldest son said that you may go to a country near to Bangladesh, either to Singapore or Malaysia. I said no, I will go to London. So I arrived in London in the morning of 18th of December. Either on 21st or 20th or 21st I went to the United States. And in Chicago there was a international conference organized by some of the Islamic organizations, and people came from all over the world. And I was surprised to see that everybody came to me, talked to me, only because I have come from Bangladesh. Only because Abdul Qadir Mullah of Bangladesh has been executed. It appears to me that Abdul Qadir Mullah is introducing the Islamic movement, Jamaat Islami, and Bangladesh to the outer world. One interesting incident. A person came to me. Originally he's an Arab, but now an American. He's an imam of a mosque. And he told me that I am an imam without beard. But I prayed for Abdul Qadir Mullah. I gave khutbah for Abdul Qadir Mullah. So I understand by going to the United States and meeting the leaders of Islamic movement from across the world, that how Abdul Qadir Mullah's execution have become internationalized. Before Abdul Qadir Mullah was executed, there was a telephone call from Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, John Kerry, United States Secretary of State, Prime Minister of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and other people. So Abdul Qadir Mullah's matter became internationalized. It is very significant that Ban Ki-moon was in South Africa. He went there, I am told, to attend the funeral of Nelson Mandela, and he made a telephone call from South Africa as UN Secretary General to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And this incident was analyzed by one of our close friends, Abdul Malik Mujahid. Mujahid was the president of Islami Jamaat-e-Talaba in Pakistan, and also he was the president of the Karachi University Students' Union. He praised the defense team for its formidable fight in this issue, and also said something very significant, that this is for the first time that the Western world has spoken against the execution of a leader of an Islamic movement. Abdul Qadir Mullah was born in Faridpur. He was the leader of Jamaat. Had he died a natural death, possibly there would have been 2 Jamaats for him, funeral prayers, one in Dhaka, another in Faridpur. But it was the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wanted to honor Mullah, so that his funeral prayers in absentia took place in London, Paris, New York, Washington, Vienna, and in several cities in Turkey. Turkey's Prime Minister was speaking openly for him. So if a Prime Minister of the country speaks for a person who has been executed, you can understand the public enthusiasm for that. And in Ankara, in Istanbul, and other important cities across the country, funeral prayers has taken place. A very important incident took place in Istanbul. There are many Bangladeshi students in Istanbul and Ankara. A blind man was waiting to cross the road in Istanbul. Istanbul is a very busy city. A student from Bangladesh helped him to cross the road. After the road crossing, that blind man asked the student, "Which country you are from?" He said, "I am from Bangladesh." Instantly that man said, "Oh, you are from the country of Abdul Qadir Mullah." So you can imagine a blind man thousands of miles away in a country, and he is identifying a person who helped him to cross the road by the name of Abdul Qadir Mullah. So it was a rare honor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to him. And perhaps Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted his shahadat. That's why He has given him this honor. Today, on this day, we remember him, and we hope that people across the world, particularly the members of the Islamic movement, will derive inspiration from the life of Abdul Qadir Mullah.